Alright, in this video we will go over the basics of the Hospital Finkbine Arena route. This is your comprehensive resource for the ins and outs of this route. We'll be covering what service is like during peak service times, how to have proper spacing during these times, as well as what to do if you need to reroute the bus or if a train decides to come through. The peak service times for the hospital route, where the route has no set schedule, are roughly 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 3:15 p.m. to 6 p.m. During these times, the most people are boarding and disembarking our buses as we continue on route. As a result of the influx of passengers, the route forgoes a set schedule of leave times in favor of careful spacing of buses in order to expedite the transportation of riders to their destination and to keep things flowing smoothly. It is very important to maintain spacing and continuous service during this time. When all the buses are running most efficiently, this results in 12-minute. You may ask, how do I board so many people when the rounds are only supposed to be 12 minutes? The short answer is, you don't. Yup, that's right, you just don't. If your bus is full, then you can leave that stop and continue on route. If all the hospital buses are properly spaced, this means the passengers you leave at a stop will not have to wait very long for another bus to pull up to them and let them board. On average, this time should be no longer than 5 minutes, regardless of how many hospital buses we have in service. If for some reason you are driving hospital and you get bunched up on top of another bus, they should immediately leave the stop to continue and become more spaced out. You should never pass another hospital bus during peak service times, or any other time during the day. How will you know if you're getting bunched up with other buses? One way to see is if you are boarding passengers at Finkbine South and you see another bus start coming up the hill from the train tracks. You can use this as a sign to know you should be taking off already, as any passengers you leave won't be waiting very long for the next bus to pull up, as they'll just be pulling up to Finkbine North as you are taking off. Almost the same thing can be done at the WCTC. If you are at the hub and are wondering how spaced you are with the other buses en route, something you can do is check to see when a hospital bus is turning from Hawkins onto Lot 43 Drive. If you're sitting in stall 3 of the WCTC, when you see this happen, you should leave immediately, as this is your sign that the other bus is catching up to you. Ultimately, service needs to come before schedule around the times we previously listed. Even if it's still only 3 p.m. for example, if you got caught by another bus, you either need to leave right away or let dispatch know so they can fix the spacing of buses en route before the rest of the hospital buses go into service. Oh no! A train decided to come through while on your way to Finkbine Lot. What do? Have no fear, we have a few ways of keeping service going if this happens. And it does happen, at least once a day. In the event of a train passing by on the tracks at Finkbine, it is most important to notify base that the train is passing through, as they do not have eyes out en route to be able to tell if it is there. The next thing that usually happens is that the dispatcher will ask for the locations of all its hospital buses. This is done to determine which buses will have to sit and wait at the tracks for the train to pass, and which buses can begin the arena reroute to keep CAN bus service to at least part of the area going. In instances where the road into Finkbine is blocked by a train passing through, the dispatcher may have you and other buses driving in the area switch to driving the arena reroute. This reroute is simple and helps ensure that service between continues even if a train delays the buses that are stuck on the opposite side of the tracks. The reroute does look different for the AM and PM versions of the hospital route, however. In the AM, buses will turn from Hawkins Drive into the arena lots, but they will use the second entrance rather than going onto Finkbine Commuter Drive. The reason for this is that it allows buses to continue to effectively service the area when traffic inevitably due to the train. In other words, drivers will turn left into the arena lots using the second entrance on Hawkins, so the arena west stop will be right in front of the bus. They will then make another left turn to continue through arena towards the arena east stop. In the PM, buses that are not already stuck at the train tracks will simply turn into the arena lots from Finkbine Commuter Drive and service the stops in this lot as they normally would have had they come from the other direction across the tracks in Finkbine. The buses will service the stops in this lot and then head right back to the WCTC to pick up other passengers. While this reroute does not help those who need to get to Finkbine lot, it does help keep service moving between the WCTC and arena while we wait for the train to pass. Recently, it has been observed that a bottleneck in traffic occurs during peak service times in the afternoon at the intersection of Hawkins Road and Finkbine Commuter Drive. As a result, many of our buses have had to wait a very long time to make the right turn back onto Hawkins to head back to the hub. When there is an influx of vehicles heading up the hill towards the hospital, be extra aware of the gaps in traffic needed to make the turn safely back onto Hawkins Drive. If the number of vehicles that are coming by causes a significant delay, let the dispatchers know and they can reroute other buses accordingly so they do not get stuck. Lastly, a reminder to you that if your hospital shift starts at the barn, you must sign into the MDT there. This is important because in synchromatics, the system tracks every route starting from the barn. If you sign in any other place at the beginning of your shift, we're time tracking you, as well as providing accurate stop time predictions. If your shift starts in the PM, you must also call up to the office before you leave to start your shift to let the dispatcher know what bus you will be taking.